Renee Brown here with Fragrant Thoughts for you. If you've been listening to the last few of the Fragrant Thoughts video series, you'll know that we're in the midst of a series of me sharing episodes from my own life where I learned how to face challenges and get through them no matter how painful or tumultuous they might feel as you're going through them. I will continue with the second part of this story about what happened to me going through a very difficult divorce in hopes that it reassures you that you can apply the messages from all this you've been learning in this series to help you get through difficult times as well. I shared with you a story about the miracle of my Tray Bear, my German Shepherd, being overcoming kidney failure so that he could live even though he only had one kidney functioning. It was a miracle, and I'm so grateful for that. And very soon after that happened, as I was about to leave for a doctor appointment, I had a horrible intuitive premonition that something really bad was about to happen, something impending that day right away. I almost canceled the appointment, but I talked myself out of it. I went through the house more than once, checking the fireplace, the oven, the stove, the iron. I even unplugged the coffee pot. My anxiety was off the charts, but I couldn't explain it. I got down on my knees and hugged my two German Shepherds, Trey and Keisha, with all the love in my heart for them, fearing that something was about to happen and I didn't know if I would ever see them again. As I drove through traffic on the interstate on the way to the doctor, I turned off the radio and my senses were heightened to every move in traffic. I was on high alert. Just 2 blocks to go, sitting motionless at a traffic light, waiting to turn left, with oncoming traffic coming to me on the inside lane. I was waiting for the traffic to clear to make my turn when I saw a small sedan coming toward me and getting dangerously close to the inside traffic lane where other cars were sitting waiting to turn left in the opposite direction. At first, I worried the driver was going to hit those cars, the ones facing me. They were sitting perfectly still like me, waiting to turn. Then I realized with horror what was about to happen, and I said it out loud. Oh my God, he's going to hit me. And he did, head on about 50 miles an hour. My SUV was totaled, and I couldn't open my car door. My airbags deployed, and OnStar came on automatically. Thankfully, they called the police and the ambulance, and they stayed on the line with me until help arrived. I was able to crawl through the other door, the passenger door, with the help of the emergency crew. Miraculously, I was not injured, and I could walk away from a head-on collision that totaled both cars. The other car crossed 3 lanes of traffic, but that driver was unharmed as well. I called the woman who was my best friend at that time again, and she met me at the emergency room to bring me home. When I walked in the door, once again, I fell to my knees and loved on my precious German Shepherds, so thankful that we were all together, safe and sound. The week that followed, I was very sore. I was driving a tiny little rental car, and the young man who drove the car that hit me and totaled my vehicle didn't have enough insurance to pay for the damages to my vehicle. His agent was insisting that I settle for about half what it would cost me to purchase a comparable replacement for the beautiful Cadillac Escalade I was driving. At one point, I fell to my knees sobbing. It seemed so unfair to have one more catastrophe to deal with during this difficult time in my life. My wonderful dogs came to my side, offering their best comfort. I literally cried out loud, "Why is this happening to me? I don't know how to do this. I need help." When my tears subsided, I knew what to do. I called Silent Unity, as I've done all my life, when I needed help regaining my faith amidst something painful. Bless you, Silent Unity. If you don't know about them, I highly recommend you check this out. It's free, non-denominational prayer support. In fact, it's the basis of the chaplain training I took, which became the foundation for my coaching. You can visit their website at silentunity.org. The kind prayer chaplain who took my call prayed with me right then, as they always do. In her affirmative prayer, she made this statement: "There is no challenge too great for God." I felt a nudge within to write it down, and I pulled an envelope from a sack of mail I had just carried in and wrote the affirmation on the back of it. After the call with the chaplain, I felt renewed calm. I put that envelope next to my coffee pot so I would see it every morning. It was Thanksgiving weekend, and throughout the weekend, every time I had any fears about the financial settlement from the collision, I would stop my fear-based thoughts and shift my focus and affirm, there is no challenge too great for God. I probably said it 100 times over that long weekend. I got very clear about what I wanted. I was sitting perfectly clear in traffic when somebody destroyed my vehicle through no fault of mine. I wasn't angry. In fact, I was thankful nobody had been hurt. I simply wanted my beautiful Escalade replaced without spending money of my own. And I knew it could happen, even though I didn't know how, because I trusted there is no challenge too great for God. I continued using that affirmation all weekend to stop myself mid-thought anytime I began feeling afraid or uncertain. After the holiday weekend, early Monday morning, my phone rang. It was an adjuster from my insurance company, somebody I had not spoken with about the accident previously. She was calling to tell me that she wants to help me to get the settlement handled without me having to spend any money. Honestly, that's what she told me. She was calling to ask my permission to negotiate with the other company on my behalf. By the end of the day, it was resolved. The two companies paid for everything, and I didn't spend even $1. There was one more synchronicity. Over the weekend, I had received a phone call from a lady I had known some time back at my local Unity church who I thought had moved out of state. Turns out she was still living in my city and was now working for one of the Cadillac dealerships. I told her about the accident and that I would be purchasing an Escalade from her very soon. And that's what happened. And working with her made it so easy to arrange exactly what I wanted. Within the week, I was driving my new Escalade, Goldie. I will continue with the third portion of the stories about going from turmoil into a renewed sense of calm and clarity with forward momentum to regain the path you choose as your true heart's desires. I want to help you do this with less overwhelm and less struggle. That's why I'm sharing stories of how I did it and how it turned around for me. I hope it's inspiring and also informative for you. So stay tuned for more Fragrant Thoughts tomorrow. Until then, beautiful being, go forth and live in joy.
Oh, did you get the kiss? Who is my girl?